Hey guys, I'm John. Welcome back to my channel, and I'm with my friend
McKelly,
and we're here in Wainwright with our big blue beautiful flags showing our support for Alberta independence.
Absolutely.
And in this video we're going to talk about, he came from Ontario, so he's got a really interesting story. He came from Ontario to support Alberta independence, among other things. And I just want to ask you guys, if you're following my channel, please like, comment, and subscribe. It really does help me out. I'm trying to grow this channel, and you know, I'm doing a lot of work to make this happen. So I do also appreciate anybody who becomes a subscriber, because that does help me out a little bit. So let's walk.
Yes.
All right, let's go into this Walmart parking lot over here. Try to be safe. So tell me a little bit about yourself.
So my name is McKelly. I moved here to Wainwright, well, in Alberta from Ontario, London, Ontario actually. And I moved about 7 months ago now.
Okay.
So a big city to a small town, big change. Yeah.
So you didn't know about independence, because that wasn't a thing back when you came, but
Well, it was up in the air. People were talking about it, and I had heard about it before. That was one of the reasons why I kind of seen it as a last resort.
right.
Because Canada's fallen downhill, let's be honest, and
Yeah.
it's getting out of hand. And after the election, which just was completely corrupt in my opinion, I had to do something. I said, well, Alberta's my best bet without leaving Canada, so
Yeah.
that's where I went.
Yeah. So what did you lived in Ontario your whole life?
All my whole life I've lived in London, Ontario.
Yeah.
My whole life.
Yeah.
So
I got family out in that part of Ontario as well. What's the perspective of people about, like, in Ontario about Alberta? Like, what do they think about us?
well, it's hit and miss. Like, you know, honestly, believe it or not, most of us voted conservative. You could go around and ask everybody, and even like just without a bias or whatever opinion and all that stuff, you could ask people honestly without being mad or doing anything like that. Well, who did you vote for? You know, everybody said conservative. Everybody. I'm not kidding. And we come here, and people are, oh, Ontario, they all voted liberal. No, we didn't. I'm
Right.
telling you, there's something that happened in that election that wasn't right.
Let's cross over there. I don't want to get hit by these cars. Well, okay, but look, my sister's from Ontario, and
Yeah.
she's like a dyed-in-the-wool liberal.
Yeah.
She like carny elbows all the way.
See, I don't.
There's obviously quite a few of them out
see
there.
it. Like, I see some of them, but maybe they're quiet around my friend group and my family or whatever. But everybody I know and everybody in my family, we all voted conservative. So, and everybody I talked to, they voted conservative because they seen it as the one last chance. Maybe the conservatives give them a go and see if they can fix things up, right? And well, they didn't get their go. Something happened with that election that I just don't think was right. And there's a lot of funny stuff going on with the Liberal government, let's be honest. And
Yeah.
the more power they get, the worse it's getting.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, right?
Yeah.
It's the truth. And now we're getting all these censorship bills and all this crazy stuff that's
Yeah.
violating rights or privileges as we have them. Like, we don't really have rights, we have privileges, right? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
And
Well, okay, there's a lot to talk about there. I want to back up to, you said most of them vote conservative.
yeah, everybody I know, it was insane. We were all 100%, all the conservatives are getting in. This is going to be a different, a little bit of a change, and give them a chance and see if they can do something.
Yeah.
And everybody expected conservatives to win, and
Yeah, me too.
I don't know what happened, man.
Okay, but my opinion is, there's, like, you look at Doug Ford, supposedly he's a conservative.
Oh, no, that's a fake conservative. That guy, these people are paid money. Like, let's be honest, they're all part of a club.
Yeah.
And they're being paid money to do things. Even if this might be against what they want, money talks, right?
Hey, I wanted to come here to get some honks.
Talks, and money makes the world go round, and people are suckers for money, so they'll give into stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
So
Well, okay, but like, I think Albertan conservatives are like a different breed of conservative.
Yeah, I would agree there. Ever since I moved here, like the people are even different here. It's crazy. There's no community value back in Ontario. Nobody cares about each other. Nobody helps each other out, especially in the bigger cities, right?
Yeah.
Like in the smaller towns a little bit, but it's not like here. As soon as I moved here, I didn't have a snowblower, right? And I have a huge driveway.
Yeah.
I came home from work one day and somebody plowed my whole driveway.
Yeah.
And that would never ever happen back home.
Oh yeah, that's really common. We actually take pride in that. We plow each other's.
There's
Oh yeah.
community value, and that's what I miss, right?
Yeah.
I missed that. That's why I wanted that back. And it seems to be like fading and fading and fading. So I said, hey, I'm going to Alberta, and you know what? The people are nicer. They treat each other a lot better, and they look out for each other.
Hey, how's it going? Nice
That's
dog.
the one thing I noticed. So,
well, I'm really happy that you say that, actually, because I've lived in Alberta pretty much my whole life.
yeah.
I was born in Saskatoon, but I moved here when I was like 5 months old. I've been in Alberta my whole life, and you know, my perspective, it's hard to kind of wrap my head around this. Like, are we actually nicer, or are we meaner, or like what's our culture? What's different about it? Like, what's different about Albertan culture?
Everybody here is nice to me. I haven't you can't, like, you can walk down the street here and say hello to people and they actually talk to you. Like,
Oh
if you
yeah.
do that back home, they look at you like you're crazy.
Well, and we might not get that too much when we're walking like this with flags through the Walmart
there's
parking lot.
You know, that's what it is.
I mean, we've had a couple, like, nobody said anything mean to us. So yeah, no,
I think there's a lot of support here too. I see the flags everywhere, like I do. And
yeah.
Nice day for a walk.
Hey, yeah, thank you.
absolutely.
Hey, I know you.
Hey,
You're John from Alberta.
I am John
I
from
follow
Alberta.
You on X.
How's it going, buddy?
Good. I've seen you too.
Have you?
Weren't you interviewing him a
no.
little while ago?
This is the
You
first
look awful
interview.
familiar. You guys are doing good work.
Hey, thank you.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
I'm gonna blurt out where he lives.
Fair.
You support Alberta independence.
Absolutely, 100%. It's the only way. It's the only path.
Yeah.
We secure a future for our children because the way this country is going,
Yeah.
it's not good. And
Yeah.
I don't want anything to do with it.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with it.
What's the sentiment like around Wainwright?
Awful lot of people support it, but they
Yeah.
won't physically come out and sign it and
Right.
Yeah,
the
that's
petition, but they'll all vote for it.
Yeah.
And that was a conversation on X a while ago,
Yeah.
that people just don't want to say anything because
Yeah.
they're afraid.
So
Right.
what would you say to those people then to encourage them?
Just got to stand up for your rights. It's
Yeah.
time. It's
Yeah.
the path. It's the only way forward.
Yeah.
And if not, we'll be submitted forever
Yeah.
to the likes of Ottawa. Forget it.
It's a dystopian path that we're heading down.
It is.
It's
It
gotten
is.
too much. It's out of hand now.
I mean, even if you just look at it from outside the economic side, the fact that we're trying to align with China, what in God's name
What?
are we thinking?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
You know, it's not just America. They're our family too, and in my case,
They stood by
that's
us.
half my family. Do you
Yeah.
think I'm going to turn my back on them? The
They've
hell
always
with
had
that.
our back.
Always,
Yeah.
always. And it all kicked off, I think, when they were asking, or when the U.S. was asking for Canada to step up and pay its bills
Yeah.
with respect to NATO, and we've known for decades
Yeah.
And the
that we
border
were defense
closing.
deadbeats, and
Yeah.
you know, to get upset when we're asked to pay for our fair share,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's not the Canada I know.
Well, okay, so now you're bringing up the military, and I want to talk about that too. And this is a military town. What do you think the soldiers what are they thinking about this? Do you have any idea?
No idea.
No idea.
No idea. I don't talk to them.
No.
I don't know them. They're around.
Yeah.
See, I have a military friend, and he's just worried about his job. Like, he supports a lot of the stuff that we're pushing, but he's worried about losing his job,
Right.
right? So
Right.
that's one thing. I think that we'd come up with some kind of military, and he'd be able to get a job automatically. Considering, I think,
Oh yeah.
I think the good people of Alberta, or whoever's running it, would do that for those people, right?
Yeah.
They respect veterans, and
Yeah.
you know, I honestly think that they would.
Yeah.
But some people are nervous about that kind of thing.
Yeah. No, I mean, I 100% agree. I think we want to take care of our vets, and this is one of the main reasons. There's how many reasons do I support Alberta independence? But like our vets, it's such a shame, Trudeau, how he treated them, and Carney, like our vets just get made, you know? Like, what a shame.
It
you know?
is. It's been like that for decades.
Yeah.
You know, go back to Jean Chrétien in the Decade of Darkness.
Yeah.
Right? That was a thing.
Yeah.
And people were upset about it.
Yeah.
Hey, anyway, I got to get going.
Hey, thank you so much.
Got
It was
errands
nice
to run.
Yeah.
Keep up the good work.
Hey, God bless you. Take care. Yeah.
We will win in October.
We will win in October. Right from Wainwright. Well, okay, so many good things there.
Yeah.
I want to talk about the soldiers too, but I want to go back to like Alberta conservatives versus Ontarian conservatives.
Yeah.
Like, it's a different breed.
It is. I mean, I think some people just kind of got sick of all the liberal crap and just jumped to conservative, to be honest, because there's only two parties you can choose from, really.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, it's not really. I don't like the way we do elections. I don't like the way we do any of this stuff.
Right.
But I think the system needs to be reset, and that's why I support the Alberta separation.
Yeah. Well, it's such
we could do things so much better, so much better.
Yeah, we absolutely can. And what gets me so excited about this is we can create a system of government. Like, we can pick and choose all the things in history that worked and didn't work, create our own system that meets our values and our needs and our protects our freedom.
Yeah, and
We can do that.
Helps or enriches our own people.
Yeah.
Helps our people. It helps them less tax, less cost on food. All this crap that's draining people. The cost of living is more than most people's salary.
Yeah.
Right? They can't keep up and they're falling behind. And, you know, boomers are sitting there laughing because they made tons of money off selling their house years ago.
Oh, hey, how's it going? Hey,
Friend of mine.
I think I might know this guy.
Howdy. How you doing?
You want to? Well, come over and say hi. Okay. Hey, I'll see you around. That's a small town. I actually know that guy.
Yeah, that's my buddy I bought the house off from.
I wonder if he's stalking me because I told him I'd be here.
Oh, he probably was looking because I told him I was coming to meet you, so he probably wanted to see what was going on.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, not to really knock too hard on the conservatives in Ontario, but like Doug Ford to me seems like what a liberal was 40 years ago.
Yeah.
And like he's not a conservative.
Yeah, I don't like that guy. I think he's bought out. And
Yeah.
compromise is compromise, my friend.
Yeah.
You can't really.
Well, and then okay, so that
Foot stuck in the mud now.
yeah. Well, that kind of takes us to the other thing is like about the election. I thought the conservatives had it in the bank.
I would have bet money on that.
Yeah.
Honestly, and I'm from Ontario, and I would have bet money on that. But I watched the whole ballots and everything being counted. Everything was so fishy about it. Everything was so just not right, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know, the way they were counted, everything. It just, I don't know.
Well, and
That's what made me think it was corrupt, right?
yeah.
And after that, and I was like, if he wins, this is 100% corrupt, and I'm moving to Alberta. And I told my friends and family that's what I'm gonna do. And like, if he wins, it's corrupt, and I gotta go because the World Economic Forum has a hold of Canada.
Okay, so that's okay.
swearing.
That's okay. So okay, let me just get this straight here. So you decided to come to Alberta after the election.
Pretty much, that was a nail in the coffin for me.
Yeah.
Because, well, I knew like we were in trouble when, you know, Trudeau was there shaking, you know, what's his name? The WEF guy.
Yeah,
Shaking
Klaus
his
Schwab.
hand. Yeah, Klaus Schwab. I knew something was going to go bad as soon as that handshake happened. And then I thought maybe the next election we could get out of it.
Yeah.
And the Conservatives maybe, you know, fix things up a little bit at least, or try. But then they won again, and that was the nail in the coffin. And
Right.
I had to go. I was like, hey.
Well, okay, so there's a lot of people right now, I think, who want to support independence, but they're still thinking Canada can be fixed.
Yeah,
You know?
I think
And-
we're far past that, guys. Unfortunately, and a big part of it is people don't want to do the research or listen to other people with different opinions.
Yeah.
Like the the whole part of democracy and stuff is, you know, for people to be able to voice their opinion.
Yeah.
And each have a difference by voting, but it's not there anymore. The voting doesn't matter. It's just a bunch of fugazi,
Right.
right? I mean, we all can see that now.
Well, okay, so, and it's funny you say we can all see it now, because I do think there's a lot of people who still hope that Alberta can be or Canada can be fixed. And like, I've come to the conclusion that it can't. It's actually working the way it was designed.
Yeah.
It's not even a thing that should be
Exactly.
fixed. It's like,
Basically
This is how
modern day
this is-
slaves here.
Yeah.
Like, let's be honest. We are. And the taxes aren't getting lower. The food cost nothing's getting lower. Your life isn't getting better or cheaper. It's getting more expensive, right? And we're spending more of our money. People aren't able to save their money. There's homeless, and back in Ontario, the homeless is insane.
yeah,
Like, oh my God. And after COVID, which was also part of the agenda, like, that put people on the street like crazy. And then
Yeah.
the drugs came, and then it just got spiraled out of control, right?
yeah,
Now there's, 100 people just in one little spot where there never used to be homeless people. There's 100 people there now,
Okay,
Doing
but
drugs in the streets and needles leaving them around. Like, it's disgusting.
but let me push back on this though. I'll try to like imagine that I'm thinking Canada can be fixed. Like,
Yeah.
okay, so we got homeless people now, and there's more poverty, but like, we were once a lot better off. So I guess the argument could be fix it is we could just go back to whatever it is that we did right back then and try to fix it. But I can't make that argument very well because I don't actually believe it.
Yeah, and another thing,
This is
there's a lot of problems that you can't really take back anymore, right?
Right.
We spent the money, we flooded the country, we shook hands and made deals that we probably shouldn't have made.
Yeah.
And now it's kind of, what do we do now, right?
Yeah, what
Now
do
the
we do
people
now?
try to speak. And what happens when we try to speak, right?
Yeah.
Right? If people that speak out go missing or whatever, right? Usually. Look at
Well,
that.
okay. I mean, there is a push to silence people,
Yeah.
and I mean, there's a social media a guy. His name's Igor Ritzlev. Have you heard of him?
Yeah, I've seen that. He had like 50K followers and they shut his countdown.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. Like,
Yeah.
That's just,
No, I mean, that's
that's
Facebook.
silencing people. Like, and that guy had some pretty solid facts he talked about, right?
Yeah.
So,
Well-
that just bothers me. You can't just silence people and
That's-
get what you want.
That's okay. So that was Facebook that shut him down. But again, it's the bot attacks that are shutting him down, really. And then it's like, that's a reflection of the opposition, the mindset of the opposition. They don't even want us to be heard.
And that's not okay, right? Like, we have to have opinion. We have to have a voice. And all this censorship stuff and this stuff they're talking about, arresting people for like petty
Let's go that way
petty
more.
stuff that you say online and stuff. Like, come on,
Yeah.
come on.
Yeah. Well, it's like, okay, do the Forever Canadians really
Maybe a
believe in
death
democracy?
threat I could understand, like a death threat. Okay, okay, maybe you could go see Buddy at his house for death threats, but calling someone a name or something. Come on.
Yeah.
What
Well,
happened? Do we really have free speech? Like, come on. What's
No.
going on here?
No, we don't. We have there's many things that are limiting free speech in this country, and it's getting worse.
Yeah.
This is one of the biggest things for me that it's like they're censoring the media, they're censoring the internet. Well, they pay the media. So whenever the government gives $1.5 billion to CBC, who do you think they're going to support, right?
Yeah, that's a big problem. We can't have that. Like, that
You know?
should be illegal.
Well, and then Bill C9, it's the first step towards actually making preaching the Bible hate speech.
Yeah.
Which could then be a
like,
crime.
what?
Yeah.
Like, that just baffles my brain. Like, how is it even a possibility that we're thinking about stuff like that?
Yeah, but like that's actually what's happening in Canada, and I think there's apathy towards this. I talked to some Forever Canadians in Rocky Mountain House,
Okay.
and I brought up some other issues about like property rights and the gun ban and all that,
Yeah.
and they were just so apathetic. They're like, well, it doesn't affect me. They're like, it doesn't affect me, so I don't care.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of
that's-
Canadians have that
that's-
mindset.
That's selfish. Like, there's so many people out there suffering.
Yeah,
Like, don't get me wrong, I have a roof over my head, I'm able to feed myself and all that, and just get by with my bills. Now that I come to Alberta, I've been saving a lot of money. Like back
Good.
in Ontario, I was kind of struggling.
Yeah.
You know, I was starting to get worse and worse, and then I came here, I was actually starting to be able to save some money, you know, put things and buy things that I need for the house, and, you know, not just all the bills and gas and rent, and it actually is kind of feeling like a little bit of hope here, you know?
Yeah, hope, but this is why people come to Alberta, like traditionally, because we work hard and we save our money, we want to get ahead and help our families.
Workers here, and that's why I think they can get the independence thing done. People here can take care of the country. They can take care of it. These people are hard workers, and I don't, you know, there are no soft hand people around here.
Now, do you know anybody in Ontario? Like, you still have family and friends there, lots of them?
Yeah, all my family's back in Ontario, so it took a lot for me to leave.
And so, like, do they ever talk to you about independence, or you ever talk to them about this, or what do they think?
Yeah, a lot of, like my family and like people close to me, obviously they have hopes for it, right? But there's some people who kind of razz about it. Oh, it'll never happen, or, you know, you're dreaming and whatever.
Right.
Okay, but, you know.
Okay.
But I see a different path, actually. I think that there will be enough support.
Yeah.
Because people are fed up, people are done, and we don't want it to turn to something worse, right? Just let the people separate, and the people that like this kind of stuff will come here. The people who don't like it will probably go to Ontario.
Actually, I think it'll be like a lot of people want to come here. Very few people want to leave. Even the forever Canadians, they're not going to just get up and leave.
Yeah, I don't think so. And especially when they, you know, Ontario's like 15% tax. It's 5% tax on buying stuff here. Like, that was a huge change for me. I couldn't believe buying stuff at the store and it was like cheap. I was like, what the hell?
Oh man, this is expensive right now, man. I've lived here my whole life, and paying, like, groceries are out of control, but we used to be a lot cheaper.
Like they're up there. I just mean the tax in general, right?
Yeah.
Because like on anything you buy in Ontario is 15%. That's 2 times more, right?
No, like, there's a really solid argument for independence, and it's like, once we stop paying the federal government and all the other provinces that are just leeching off of us, then we're gonna be able to keep a lot more money here, and we're gonna be able to lower our taxes, and and cut regulations. And that's going to attract businesses from all over the world. And actually, our tax revenue is going to go up because there's bigger tax base.
Big time. And then they'll do all the pipelines, they'll do all that stuff. And then that's how you're going to make money.
Yeah.
That's how you're going to make people come out of poverty.
Yeah.
Like, using the resources that we have.
And then we could talk about a foreign aid program to go help their poor, former countrymen in Ontario. Like, here's a foreign aid program. We'll give some to Somalia. We'll give some to Ontario.
Oh my God.
Sorry, okay, that is one thing about Alberta's attitude. We are a bit. The Albertan came out of me there for a second.
But it's understandable. We shouldn't be giving money to other countries while people are suffering here. Are you kidding me?
Right.
What the hell? Look at the streets, especially in the bigger cities, right? The small town is nice. There's no homeless people here. It's nice. Nice. That's only because it's a small town.
Oh, we should have crossed over there. Let's just go. Okay. Now she's waiting for us. Let's go. Okay, thank you. I guess the pedestrian crosswalk goes over there. Got to be smart to make videos in public. Yeah, so I mean, I think Alberta has a serious argument here with how rich we're going to be when we leave. And it's just like, okay, we got to replace some federal services. But whether we're net 26 billion like Danielle Smith's and the Fraser Institute kind of say, or if it's 40 to 50 billion like the Alberta Prosperity Project says, it's a huge net. Yeah,
it is. And honestly, I didn't even know about the money until I came here. I couldn't believe that you guys are giving that much money. I was like, what the? Well, it just doesn't make any sense. It's like, and the hardest workers are here. Like, it's obvious. As soon as I came here, I see how hard people work.
Well, let me just be like, I like for posterity, right? So I'll explain how equalization works. For the audience, we don't pay money directly to Ottawa, or to other provinces. I mean, it's more like they collect federal taxes from everybody in Canada, and Albertans just happen to pay more federal taxes per capita because we make more money, and then they use a complicated formula to divvy out which provinces get what, but Quebec always seems to be getting like 16 billion, Ontario gets like a couple $100 million, and
Alberta gets nothing.
and Alberta gets nothing.
And doesn't even get the values they want. Like, what the heck?
No, we get all the woke crap shoved down our throat.
Like, and that stuff. That's another thing that pushed me away. That's just like,
Hey,
bringing it in schools and all that. That's wrong.
yeah.
Don't be cool.
Hey. Ah, I love getting honks for people. Actually, this is another
I
thing.
told you, there's a lot of support here. Like,
Yeah.
people are, and especially after the majority liberal government that is just that load of crap, right?
Yeah.
Like, how? Come on, buying people out again. Like, it's
Okay.
beyond, like,
So
so obvious.
I'll tell you why I support independence. I like the economic arguments. I like some of those other things we're talking about here.
Yeah.
But the thing that really gets me going about it is is freedom.
Yeah.
I want freedom.
Yeah.
And in Canada, I just don't feel like we're free. I feel like the laws are getting more and more encroached.
They're tightening, right? It's taking a little bit by little bit by little bit.
Yeah.
And eventually well, that's how it all starts in history. It's all started in communist countries, just the same.
Well,
It's just little by little, you know.
yeah, it's like we're like a frog in a boiling pot, and it just slowly gets hotter and hotter until
Yeah,
we forget to
exactly.
jump out.
And almost like you don't notice, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly what's going on. And people are too daft or whatever to realize. And it's sad to see. It's sad to watch.
Yeah.
Like, it all started for me and back when COVID, all that started. That was like the first part of the agenda to me. And I didn't take the shot for a reason. And
You didn't
people
take it?
thought, No, not
No.
one. Everybody thought I was crazy, right? And then all of a sudden people started dropping like flies of my friends, like 30 years old, like over like random heart failures and stuff.
Do you,
like
do you
that.
know people who died
Oh,
from? Yeah.
Oh, a bunch of people, like, and a few people that were friends of friends too, right? And a few that were older but didn't have health problems before. Like my uncle passed kind of suddenly, and he was only, I think he was about 53,
Right.
or yeah, something like. But he was, not that old to be just having random, and he never had heart problems ever before, right? So it was like, I don't
Yeah.
know.
Well, it's really
There's
suspicious.
Another part of it, right? That's just.
But like, okay, so here we're talking about freedom. Here's a freedom that I want enshrined in the Alberta Constitution, is bodily autonomy.
Yeah, I
Right?
agree. 100%.
Like, this is my body. You can never tell me that I got to take a vaccine.
yeah,
Now, I've been thinking about the implications of a law like this.
yeah,
Because, okay, so here's, the way you test it is you use like extremes, right? So we could say this is your body, you have choice over it.
yeah,
What about conscription during a war?
yeah.
Like, because that's like ultimately telling people, no, this is actually the state's body and you have to go fight in this war. So if I want free or bodily autonomy, then I'm kind of like against
Yeah,
conscription.
You're right. I never thought about that actually.
You know?
There's a few things. Yeah, you're right.
It's really something to think about, right?
Yeah.
But then it's like, okay, maybe it's such a grand emergency.
Yeah.
But then my thought was, all right, look, let's say it's like World War III and the Russians and the Chinese are like coming in for us.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's like we couldn't find enough brave Albertans to fight and defend our land because they were all cowards and none of them would volunteer. Well, then I guess conscripting the cowards doesn't make us any better off.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, the culture is getting stripped. Like, it's sad to see, right?
Yeah,
We don't want that. We want to keep our culture, right?
let's go
We want
left
to keep
over
our
there.
values, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, and so like bodily autonomy, another one, is like I want to have true freedom of speech, but then I guess, okay, there are limits that we put on everything,
Yeah.
and the limits, they have to be reasonable, but it's like we got to set clear rules for this. Like the government can't be compelling us to say anything.
Yeah, exactly, right? I mean, the only thing I see is like death threats. That's
Inciting violence.
that's one thing, That's
Yeah, you can't be inciting violence.
Come on, like, do words really hurt people? Let's be honest. People run their mouths all the time and talk a lot of shit, right?
Yeah. So, okay, back to like what Ontarians think,
Yeah.
because I am curious about this. Do they talk about this at all? Is this even on their radar, like that this is
they
happening?
do. Like a lot of the younger crowd like went conservative this last election actually, and I didn't realize it, but my little brother's friends, they all voted for conservative too. And
But then apparently they get liberal a lot of time.
And before I think they had different opinions, and I didn't expect that. But you know, in the future, you know, they all voted conservative too.
Yeah.
Right? And
Well, and so, because what I'm kind of thinking is, I want to know if the media out there is ignoring us. Like, I don't watch the media. I don't know what people really think. I put so much work into making these videos.
Either. I stopped watching anything on the news. I don't even have television anymore because I don't have time for that crap anymore.
Yeah.
It's all just lies and propaganda to me.
Yeah.
Just stirring the story or pushing a narrative. It's like,
Yeah.
oh my God, it's exhausting. Honestly,
Yeah.
it's exhausting.
Okay, so here's one news story that I did read, just because it's been shared so widely on social media.
Yeah.
There's another creator called Unacceptable Fringe.
Yeah.
Have you heard of him?
I've seen his videos, yeah.
Yeah.
I did.
So CTV's saying that he's AI. Yeah, they called out. They were like, we found 20 AI channels.
Come on.
And then the screenshot shows his channel as they're saying that there's AI fake, you know. And I'm like, that's like serious defamation or something like that.
Really?
Libel
Come
against
on.
his. Yeah.
They come up with the most absurd stories, honestly.
Yeah.
And that's not even a bad one, to be honest. There's a lot worse than that.
Yeah.
Like we've heard too many things, right? But the time has come. I think the time has come to make a change, and if you want it, Alberta separation is probably the only hope for
Yeah.
an old Canada. If you want it to be a little bit like how it used to be, pretty sure that's the only way, guys.
Well, okay, yeah, I was having a conversation with a guy in X about this, and he got mad at me because he said that, he accused me of calling him a traitor, and I never called people who are against independence traitors. I call the federal government traitors, right? Because they're actually like doing business deals with China and taking away our rights and destroying our freedoms. But like the people in Canada who just long for the old Canada, you know, the way we used to be.
Yeah.
Those guys are actually patriots. I just wish they would see, hey, Canada is gone. It's not what it used to be.
Yeah. Most of these people are probably a lot of them are probably the same people who fought against COVID.
Yeah.
You know, standing up for your freedoms. Once again, the same thing, right? Is people know when to call bull. They know when they see bull.
Yeah.
Put it that way. And I don't know, once you see it, it's so hard to unsee. Like, it's so hard. And then everything just kind of starts clicking, and then you start researching and you follow the money.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh God, you know? And then you realize how corrupt it actually is. But most people won't take the time. They won't take the time.
Well, okay, so now you're talking about money. Right. It's like Carney's setting up a $25 billion sovereign wealth fund, but he's using debt to do it. It's like you use surplus to create your wealth fund that you save, but he's going to use debt, and he's basically just going to like spend it on all of his own buddy projects.
Yeah.
Get votes.
Like, yeah, we know exactly what's going on with Brookfield. Come on.
Yeah.
Why else were you trying to push the EV stuff? Come on.
Yeah.
Because it was, I forget where I did some research, but the EV credits go through Brookfield.
Yeah.
Right? So who's going to make all the money, right? Because they're going to be buying the credits through Brookfield.
Yeah.
Right?
It's like the guy is just lining his pockets, and Canadians can't see this.
Just read his book and understand a little bit of what's going on, you know? But I guarantee that most of those liberals didn't even read the book.
Yeah.
I'm not even kidding.
I've never read his book. I've seen some excerpts of it.
I read quite a bit of it. And
did you?
It's a little...
What do you remember from his book?
Well, a lot of the stuff with... all of the stuff that I seen with the World Economic Forum, him doing business with all of them,
yeah,
that's what really scared me, right? Because I know what those globalists are about. And when it comes to elites running the world, they're not going to be looking out for people like me and you. They're going to be looking out for themselves and their billionaire buddies, right? Oligarchs. And
well, and it's easy to kind of go down conspiracy
like
theory
Burns,
trails.
That
but
guy, he's like Mr. Burns. It's like a rich billionaire, evil as fuck.
Yeah. Well,
That's what
okay.
he reminds me of, honestly.
Like, I try not to sound too conspiratorial.
Yeah.
Let's let these guys pass here.
Yeah.
Right. I try not to sound too conspiratorial, but like give me a tinfoil hat once in a while, because I feel like that's what's going on. Like you look around, you're like, all these things that are happening, how is this not some grand conspiracy?
Yeah. I mean, and the more conspiracy, a lot of them come true.
Yeah.
I mean, it might be, 15, 20 years later, but you know, a lot of them have proven to be real.
Yeah.
I'm not crazy on everything, but
Yeah.
some stuff, the evidence is there, and you can't deny it. If the facts and evidence are there,
Right.
how can you deny that, right?
Right.
But people will literally not even take the time to look at the facts or the evidence and just dismiss it and call you crazy, call you names, right?
Yeah.
Fascist or racist, all the names, their favorites.
I'm
favorite is
I'm pretty much immune to being called a racist at this point.
it's
like
not
that's
about-
just a catch-all
It's
term.
not about race. It's not about skin color.
Unfortunately, at this moment, my GoPro overheated and the interview cut out. I really need to figure out what to do about that. But thank you, McKelly, for the interview, and thank you everyone for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Cheers.